CBS News Miami.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. I'm Najahe Sherman, and welcome to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. Let's take a look at today's top stories, and we begin with breaking news. 4 people were shot late this afternoon in Miami. Chopper 4 over one of the scenes. This is in the 1600 block of Northwest 59th Street. Police say this is where the victims were shot. They ended up a few streets away where rescue crews picked 3 of them up. 3 of the victims were taken to the hospital as trauma alerts. The 4th victim drove himself to the hospital. No word yet on any suspects. CBS News Miami's Peter Dinch is on this story. He will have a live report tonight at 5. And we are following even more breaking news. A 3rd Palm Beach County Sheriff's deputy has died. This is days after being struck by an SUV in West Palm Beach. 2 other deputies were also killed in that crash. CBS News Miami's Anna McAllister is on this story. The very latest tonight at 5.
Always alerting, always tracking. This is Next Weather.
And taking a live look outside, a beautiful day across South Florida, and this great weather sticks around for the next few days. Next Weather Chief Meteorologist and Hurricane Specialist Ivan Cabrera is here. And Ivan, perhaps not as cool as we approach the Thanksgiving holiday.
I think we have a little bit of a warm-up coming up here. Look at Key West, already 80 degrees. We have temperatures in Fort Lauderdale and Miami, the upper 70s. So what we're doing is just getting back to average. But if you prefer the cooler temperatures we had over the weekend, they're coming back. It's just going to take 2 cold fronts for that to happen, and they won't get here until after the holiday. So it looks like a warmer Thanksgiving for us. We're going to stay dry, though, with mostly sunny skies, a few clouds dotting the sky, but otherwise that is it. Upper 70s right now in Marathon and Key West. Dew points are up, right? So it feels a little more humid, certainly, than what it did over the weekend. We're going to start getting into those mid-60s dew points, and that's going to make it feel about a couple degrees above what the thermometer reading has, and that will be with us through the end of the week, and then those fronts begin to push in here. A couple coming in. The air behind these doesn't appear to me to be as cool as the last front that came in through, but we'll take it here. And the first one arrives as we head into Thursday night, heading into Friday, really. And then for the weekend, that's when we'll really start to feel it. Our temperatures are going to come back into the 50s. Secondary front is just going to reestablish itself as far as the cool air and the lower humidity, and that's coming up for the weekend. So if you have outdoor plants, looks fantastic for both Saturday and Sunday. And if the mornings were a little bit too chilly this past weekend, this setup here looks a bit milder, but still we'll get that refreshing air mass change here. So we're looking pretty good. Again, temperatures back in the 60s at Florida tonight. We're not going to be looking at anything like we had with wind coming off the water, and that's what's going to set up the humidity coming up a little bit, and along with the milder temperatures as well. There are the numbers for tomorrow. We'll wake up already in the 60s here, around 70 degrees. What a huge difference, right? And then by the afternoon, we'll have that mix of sun and clouds, and we'll do that with temperatures right around 80. Typical high this time of year is 80, and the overnight temperature is normally in the upper 60s. So we are going to cheat a little bit and go above average heading into the holiday for Thanksgiving with temperatures right at 84. We max out on Black Friday with temps in the mid-80s. If you're going to get out and about, that's not going to be a problem, but it is going to start feeling not just warm, obviously 85, but also a bit humid. And there comes the first front coming in. These fronts don't have much moisture with them, and so they're going to pass through dry, but they'll do the job. They'll temperatures back into the 50s through the overnight hours, and high temperatures in the low 80s.
Sounds like a little something for everyone. Thank you, Ivan. Well, the country is gearing up for more record-breaking travel this Thanksgiving holiday week. AAA predicts that nearly 80 million Americans will hit the skies, roads, and seas. As CBS News Miami's Naomi Ruckham reports, there is a bright spot for drivers this year.
The Thanksgiving rush has already begun at airports across the country.
Everything's cool. Getting on the flight seems pretty good.
AAA says more than 5 million Americans will take to the skies this week, with the FAA forecasting that the highest number of flights, more than 50,000, will take off tomorrow. The Transportation Security Administration says it's working to keep passengers moving, with screening wait times predicted at less than 30 minutes for regular flyers. That drops to 10 minutes for those with TSA PreCheck.
This year, passenger volumes are the highest we've ever seen. And fortunately, our staffing in TSA is also at the highest levels that they have ever been.
Severe weather forecasts of cold temps, heavy rain, and snow in parts of the country this week could also create some air travel delays.
I expect it to be crazy. It probably will take a little bit, so go ahead and adjust.
Weather could also impact the more than 71 million Americans expected to hit the highways this holiday week. But there's some good news for drivers. Prices at the pump are falling.
That's going to give folks a little bit more money in their pocketbooks for those holiday ingredients and, of course, those Black Friday shopping deals.
AAA says the national average price for regular gasoline could dip below $3 a gallon this week. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News.
Adding to the travel woes this week, hundreds of service workers at Charlotte Douglas International Airport went on strike today for 24 hours. Over the weekend, union members voted in favor of the work stoppage as they demanded fair pay. The workers provide services such as cleaning the planes and escorting wheelchair passengers. For the first time, we are hearing from the heartbroken family of a man who was killed in a hit-and-run crash. It happened earlier this month. The man riding a scooter in southwest Miami-Dade when he was hit. CBS News Miami's Erica Gonzalez has new information on the two people police need your help finding.
It was incredibly emotional. His wife spoke as tears rolled down her face. Meanwhile, police are still searching for the suspect, and they're also searching for a second person they say helped the suspect get away. The morning of November 11th should have been a typical trip to work for Alexis Munoz and his wife Celia. But today his late wife is left without a husband and their family's dream is shattered. Celia saying at a press conference today as tears rolled down her face. They arrived from Cuba 8 months ago with the dream of getting ahead. Miami-Dade police say that Munoz dropped his wife off at Costa Farms near 208th Street and 194th Avenue in southwest Miami-Dade when he was hit by the suspected thief behind the wheel of this pickup truck with a trailer hauling a front loader. Police say this is the man who was behind the wheel, Zeniel Francisco Cabrera Talavera. 2 weeks later, police have not captured him.
The initial crash was purely accidental. What he did after that was 100%. I mean, he knew exactly what he was doing. He removed the equipment, lifted the trailer, drugged the victim's lifeless body out from under the trailer, reloaded it, and then fled the scene, leaving the victim for dead right there on the side of the road.
Not too long after the hit and run, Talavera was involved in a separate crash where he had help getting away. Police are now also looking for a white male who drives this red Ford pickup in his 50s and 60s, known as Raviche.
He's considered a suspect in the crime related to the stolen property.
Gotcha.
And he's also related to the crash scene. He assisted the driver of the gray truck to flee the scene.
Meanwhile, his wife is just hoping the public helps her family get some badly needed answers for a great man who she says didn't deserve this. Police say that they have reason to believe Talavera may have fled to Mexico, but they also say he has a girlfriend who is 9 months pregnant, and they believe Talavera may return to the States to meet his new child. They hope to ultimately make an arrest. In Doral, Erica Gonzalez, CBS News Miami.
The man who police say is behind an assault on a store clerk at a smoke shop was arrested. He faced a judge this morning. 30-year-old Tyrone Armbruster is facing several charges, including attempted sexual battery and false imprisonment. The incident happened earlier this month inside a shop on Canal Street in Miami Springs. It was caught on surveillance video. The clerk fighting back with a plunger that caused him to run away. Armbruster turned himself into police yesterday afternoon. He confessed to the attack, saying he had been drinking. The judge did not grant him bond. An 18-year-old man is dead, and police are searching for a shooter. It's after shots were fired in the parking lot of a Lauderhill condo complex. Happened just before 3 a.m. on Sunday. This is in the area of 2401 Northwest 41st Avenue. Victim died at the hospital. It is unclear what led up to the shooting. If you have any information, call Broward Crime Stoppers at 954-493-TIPS. Special Counsel Jack Smith seeking to dismiss charges against President-elect Donald Trump. Where things stand when we come back. Welcome back to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. Generous members of the community are lending a helping hand to a local father and son bonding group. It's after their camping gear was stolen. CBS News Miami's Ted Scouten reports from Parkland.
Generous CBS News Miami viewers stepping up to help out. When a local father-son bonding group had its trailer filled with camping gear stolen, the public and our viewers were able to locate that stolen trailer. And when they learned that all the camping gear was gone, they helped out again.
We had no idea how we were going to replenish all of this equipment that we'd lost to continue be able to camp with the kids. So now for somebody to be able to reach out and say, hey, you can use our stuff has just been, it's a godsend. It's amazing.
Coming up at 5, we'll take a closer look at how CBS News Miami viewers were able to help out. In Parkland, Ted Scouten, CBS News Miami.
Special Counsel Jack Smith filed a motion today. He's asking for the charges against Donald Trump to be dismissed. It is in connection with an alleged plot to overturn the 2020 election. CBS News Miami's Christian Benavides reports from Transition Headquarters in West Palm Beach.
Citing the Justice Department's long-standing policy against prosecuting presidents while in office, Special Counsel Jack Smith asked the federal judge to dismiss the federal case accusing President-elect Donald Trump of plotting to overturn the 2020 election. The filing comes after Trump won the 2024 presidential election a few weeks ago.
Because the president is different from the rest of us, because continuing with a criminal case against a sitting president is something that we have not envisioned.
Smith and the DOJ are standing by the allegations in their indictment, saying the government's position on the merits of the defendant's prosecution has not changed, but the circumstances have. The Trump campaign responded to Monday's development, calling it a major victory for the rule of law. Christian Benavides, CBS News, West Palm Beach, Florida.
President Joe Biden pardoned his last 2 turkeys this morning. Peach and Blossom were presented at the White House. They will now retire at a farm in Minnesota, and that's where they will serve as ambassadors for years to come. Today's ceremony marks the 77th annual tradition. It dates back to the Truman administration. And we want to know what you are thankful for this Thanksgiving. Email us a photo of what and who you are giving thanks for to pics@cbsmiami.com. You might see them on air or online. That's your CBS News Miami Quickcast. I'm Najahe Sherman. Stay tuned for more news right here on CBS News Miami, and have a wonderful day.